FPL managers, with us having 5 free transfers heading into game week 16, I thought I'd take a look at the players I deem to potentially be essential over the next few game weeks and worth potentially bringing in this week. Now, before we dive into today's video, of course, if you do enjoy any of the content that you see on the channel, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as we are trying to hit 25,000 subscribers by the end of the season, and it is only possible with your amazing support. I do want to just say, before obviously we dive into this video, I am filming this on Saturday night. It's the only time I've really got available to do it, but we've had a good portion of games play already, and I feel like we've already built up a good collective of players that I deem probably will be in most people's teams over the next few game weeks, and probably heading into game week 16 with us all having 5 free transfers. One of the players I do believe is going to be in that case is going to be Phil Foden. Manchester City have got some absolutely amazing fixtures, and arguably, he's the most in-form player within the Premier League right now. 6 goal involvements in his past 3 games. He's on an absolute barnstorm. Well, like I said, with some even better fixtures coming up. Obviously, game week 17, an absolute cracker with some of the best projected goals we are expected to see over the next 5 to 6 game weeks. So that's going to be a great game. Forest are still defensively very, very leaky. We saw that today in the game against Everton as well. So that's another cracking fixture. They just beat Sunderland 3-0, so they very easily could do it in the reverse. Like I said, there's just some great fixtures coming up. Phil Foden at the moment seems very secure in his Manchester City place, and given the form that he's in, I do feel like he is going to be one of those players that you're just going to have. Now, I am filming this, like I said, on the Saturday night. I think he's expected to rise tonight up to 8.5 million. It would not surprise me to see this guy continually rise throughout the week. So if you want to go, you probably got to go quite early on Phil Foden, because honestly, come the deadline, we could be seeing this guy at 8.6, maybe even 8.7. I've never seen, obviously, the prices be manipulated in this way. But like I said, we've all got 5 free transfers, so things are going to get a little bit crazy. I think for me, he is probably one of the best players you need to be bringing in right now, given the form, given the fixtures that City have got, given his security of minutes, and given what he is offering for this Pep Guardiola side. He's really stepped up to the mark so far this season. So for me, does feel like one of those players that is essential for the City setup, and probably going to be a player that is going to be very essential for FPL over the next few weeks. So if you haven't already, I highly recommend going and picking up Phil Foden this game week. Let's take a look then at some other players then. Up next, we are going to talk about Igor Thiago. I feel like a lot of people are going to be switching away from Mateta, obviously depending on what he does today. Like I said, I'm filming this before the Crystal Palace game, but if he blanks, I 100% guarantee everybody's going to be selling off Mateta and moving to Thiago. And I do still even think if Mateta has hauled today, then of course, you know, the early substitutions that we've seen in the past few weeks, and Nketiah back on the mark, some rumblings about him potentially being unhappy at the club, not signing a new contract, maybe looking to leave as well, probably means for me, realistically, longer term anyway, he is going to be a player I don't really want to keep. And I see probably the most template forward too going forward is going to be Thiago and Erling Haaland. You look at the fixtures that they've got coming up: Leeds United, Wolves, the worst side in the Premier League by a country mile, Bournemouth given their poor away record, obviously Tottenham. But what I would say about that is Brentford's home form so far this season has been stupendous. They've only lost 1 home game so far this year, and that was against Manchester City a few weeks ago. So it's a pretty decent home form. They've got some absolutely cracking fixtures over the next few. Of course, his penalty record is phenomenal, and I've spoke about Brentford's penalty record on quite a few videos already. If you haven't seen them, I highly recommend you go back and check them out. I've run through the charts a few times as well, and obviously discussed the picks and stuff like that. Obviously, with Brentford being such a good penalty winning side, they've won the second most since their promotion in the 21-22 season. So having their penalty taker who also can score from open play goals and has the best non-penalty XGI for Brentford as well does feel like a really, really good pickup. Again, another player that I expect his price will probably be around the 7 million mark, maybe 7.1. Probably a blessing in disguise he didn't score on the Saturday, but honestly, again, could be one of those players that, again, his ownership is just going to keep rising over the next few days. I expect his price to continue to rise as well. Some absolutely cracking fixtures over the next few weeks. I do feel, like I said, it's going to become very template. Haaland and Thiago as probably the leading 2. So if you haven't already, I would highly recommend going and investing into Thiago this week. Let's move on then. Let's keep this train rolling. Next up is going to be a player I don't think a lot of people are probably thinking about bringing in. He's not looking to likely to rise on the Saturday night. That may change on the Sunday. It is going to be Declan Rice off the back of a 6-pointer against Aston Villa, where, by the way, he got 0 attacking returns. He just hit DEFCON and managed to squeak some bonus. His DEFCON numbers have been pretty decent, as you can see, 12 defensive contribution points as well. He's got multiple avenues to points, which is something I am always looking for my players. I want to, kind of break it down. What are these repeatable actions where players get points? It's DEFCON, it's goals, it's obviously being associated with set pieces or penalties or free kicks or something like that. And Declan Rice has that. He's also got a little bit of that open play threat as well. But I think the main appeal for me is he can hit those defensive contributions. He's very nailed for Arsenal, who are a Premier League winning side, or going to probably be contending for the Premier League this season, should we say. So I think for me, Declan Rice offers so much and is great value for 7.1 million, really, because he just is going to tick along very, very nicely. And there's a reason him, Bruno Guimarães, Gravenberch, all these kind of DMs are towards the top of the scoring list this season. It's because they've added the defensive contributions, which is making them already better. They're very, very good for minutes, but also what they've also started to all add this season is goals to their games. We've seen them all score plenty of goals and get involved in plenty of goals, whether that be from set pieces, whether that be from open play as well. So I feel like these players have just got more to their kind of arsenal. And I think probably for me, I'm going to make a little bit more of a switch away from kind of the flip-floppy kind of flash in the pan players, and look for these guys that are just the steady eddies where I roll them out every single week, regardless of the opponent, play them. They either hit defensive contributions or come away with an absolute masterstroke. I spoke about the set pieces as well. Now, I think it's important to obviously identify certain set piece takers for certain sides, because certain sides look to exploit them, and Arsenal are one of those sides. They're the leading side for scoring goals from set pieces. They've also got the best XG from set pieces as well. So having Declan Rice, one side of the corners, and a lot of the free kicks, again, makes complete sense to me. An absolutely cracking fixture this week as well. But with these picks like Declan Rice, I think it is regardless of the fixture. You just roll them out, you play them. And for me, he is going to be one of the players I'm going to be looking to bring in this game week as my Enzo replacement. Like I said, because he's just got so much going for him, and he's just one of those players that I think will continually pick up points throughout the course of this season. Sticking with the Arsenal theme then, it is going to be Jurrien Timber. I think given the Arsenal injuries and suspensions at the moment, him or potentially Hincapié are probably going to be some of the best defenders you can go and pick up this game week. Again, looks very likely to rise on the Saturday night. It would not shock me to see it. Again, they've got some absolutely cracking numbers according to the 11-5 model as well over the next 5 projected game weeks. They are the top side for clean sheet numbers. So again, feels like a very, very good, decent investable defense. I know they lost against Aston Villa, but still, Arsenal are a great defense. We've seen that throughout the course of that. And we saw Timber as well. The main reason that I've put him in this video is down to his versatility. What he can offer you is a guy who can play left back and, as we can see, get the attacking returns, which is where a large proportion of his points come. He's also the best defender for non-penalty XGI. But what we saw today was when he did shift to centre-back, he managed to hit those defensive contributions as well. So if Saliba is going to be out for a little bit more longer term, then Timber is going to be a great player that can, of course, get the clean sheet numbers. We've seen that with Arsenal already this season, and their projected numbers are looking fantastic. But he also can hit the defensive contributions when he's put into those more defensive roles. But then when he's freed in the wing-back roles, he's got that ability to go and get some absolute big mega hauls as well. He's also been one of the main targets from set pieces since, of course, Gabriel is out. And I think what the other thing is that he offers nicely as well, given his price point, is he is a fantastic placeholder for when Gabriel is back fully fit and available. Because when I think that happens, a lot of us are going to be looking to jump back into Gabriel. So I think having that Arsenal defender already there, that Timber spot already there, secure, makes complete sense. Very nice, easy placeholder. In comes Gabriel, out goes Timber. Happy days, we've got our Gabriel back, who, before he was injured, was one of the best players for points per start. Only Erling Haaland was beating him in that metric. That's how good Gabriel was before he got injured. So I think when he's back fit and available, he will replace Timber on this list and will be one of those most obviously essential players for your sides. Let's move on then to the final player of today's video, and it is going to be Bruno Guimarães. Now, again, it goes back to this thing where I've said, like, the DMs are just picking up mad points this season because of defensive contributions, because they're getting more involved in the game, whether that be from set plays. We saw that with Bruno with his goal against Burnley this weekend. He got it from a corner, like, you know, he scored from the corner and obviously taking corner for, again, a side that do look to maximize the most out of set pieces. That is something that Eddie Howe does look to do. Obviously, having a player that is on the corners, again, is just a nice extra little bit that can, of course, add up. He's obviously can hit defensive contributions, not as frequently as Declan Rice, but again, still something he can do. And again, he's very, very secure within his minutes. He is one of the main key components of this Arsenal side. Now, I know in the midweek game, we did see him come off the bench to have to score. However, I think longer term, like, I think now they've seen that shows he doesn't run without Bruno Guimarães, and he is the main key and cog of that Newcastle midfield and is their most essential player realistically for them going forward. And again, for me, I think you probably pick between him or Rice, and you just literally leave them in the squad regardless of the fixtures, regardless of what points they are picking up. You run the bad with the smooth, and these guys will probably come out as some of the best scoring players within the game, in my opinion, because they are just got those multiple avenues to points from set pieces, open play threat. Obviously, the more kind of set piece focused Premier League we are living in as well, it is going to benefit these guys that are on either the kind of receiving side or obviously the taking side as well of the set plays as well. And Bruno Guimarães fully fits within that mold. There's also some great fixtures coming up for Newcastle as well. The Burnley and the Leeds ones I'm looking at there as well. Obviously, the big Northeast derby as well in game week 16. That could be a feisty one as well, where he could absolutely smash it for those defensive contributions as well. So those are going to be my essential players, or the key players I think you guys should be looking to obviously take a look at over the next week or so with your 5 AFCON transfers. Let me know, are there any players I potentially missed in the comment section? Get your dilemmas in as well, and making sure you're subscribing for more FPL content.